Welcome back everyone, you're watching the training week from August 25th where the weekly focus was a new P-bar routine construction. Lots of high bar dismounts this week and man, working in some new guards which was pretty uncomfortable, so you'll see me on struggle street this week with high bar releases. Weekly highlights, some strength gains which I'll explain, and some double doubles just into the pit. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Misha and here I share my love for gymnastics. You can watch literally every single turn that I take on the equipment in about the last 4 or 5 years. And this particular week we started off with fixing the position of my tap. So when I do any high bar dismount, right during the kick over there, I'm always a bit piked, and that's me trying to cheat my way around it a bit, getting a little bit more rotation off the bar, but it does actually diminish your power. So this particular day I was working on opening my hips up just a wee bit on the high bar dismount, that release phase. So the new P-bar construction, we're putting the giant DME at the start, and there's a few things to note. The first thing I noticed was it's not as easy as I was hoping to do the giant DME right away, much like it's not easy to do a PH1 right away. And the reason for that is that after the half turn, when you're in a brand new spot on the P-bar, that first skill, it's almost like it breaks the bar in, breaks the grip in. And then after that, once you got all that maybe loose chalk off your hands with that first skill, everything feels a bit better. So even having an earlier giant DME, it wasn't a guarantee right off the bat that it was going to be easier. But I did do a little bit of experimenting and I found a better, honey to chalk ratio onto the bar, just to make that first skill a little bit easier. The flow of the routine was so good. Flow of the routine felt way better. Not having that half turn in the middle of the routine, just doing all the underbar in one swoop, it just feels so right. It feels so right. And obviously the challenge is PH1 Healy right at the end of the routine. Pretty difficult connection right at the end of the set. It's like what's 5th, 6th skill. A regular Healy will be 7th. So you can't win them all, but all around I think this is the construction and I'm gonna lock it in. So this was first attempt. You would have noticed the preparation time for the bar is easily like minimum 10 seconds plus faster. Like I'm getting like around 150s, 1 minute 50 seconds without even rushing through it. I can take my time because I only have to do about a meter or so of the bar, whereas beforehand I was doing the entire bar to make room for the peach, the giant DME and the giant after having traveled forward in the half turn. So second attempt, so you see pretty much I do the bar. If you look at where my hands are for the 4 underbar skills, they don't really even move that much. They move a little bit forward after the peach handstand right there, but otherwise it's all pretty much on the same spot. It's all pretty much on the same spot. And then yes, I am quite a ways ahead over here, but it doesn't matter because I don't have any more underbar skills left, fam. No more underbar skills. So getting them all done in one chunk feels a lot better. The second difficult part, besides having the peach one be that late in the set, you got to do a reverse turn right before the dismount. So let's say my half turn in the previous construction wasn't pitch perfect to handstand. That's fine, you can just ease your way into a peach handstand. But here, because the reverse turn is right before the dismount, you do have to be perfect, so in the last week or so I have been taking like an extra little hand adjustment more often than I would like. after the reverse turn. But again, I haven't been working them, so that's something that I'm going to put a little bit more turns into, just making sure that I understand how to do that reverse turn to an exact handstand. And by itself, not a problem. But when it's right at the end of your routine, your forearms are gassed, you need to be precise, and you might be nervous because you're so close to doing the routine and you don't want to muck up the minor details. That's when it's the most difficult. But day 2, we had some new grips, and man, was it uncomfortable. Because Pagan is full speed, I literally needed a mat slide, because that feeling of, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold on through this release became a little bit overwhelming. So that's why I was going over pit and just taking extra precautionary measures. And it was alright. So I struggled for the first couple sessions with the releases, but near the end of the week, things started to feel a bit better. But still, it's like the thickness. Thick guards I've never found to work too well for me. So that's the PBar construction. I think today is the first dub. Noticeably nicer tap, more rotation on the double layout. When I twist, I still go a bit sooner than I would like. And yeah, the knees on that dub. If I can get locked knees in the dub, like I said last week, surely I'll be able to get locked knees on just a full twisting double layout. Oh, what does it take for a man to learn a stoop half to handstand, fam? Apparently it takes more than 20 years. I'm no good at it. But it's progress. Like, it's pretty square. It's about 45 over. It's still progress, just super slow progress. Following week, I threw a dub over hard onto a crash mat. Calf actually already felt better here, but I wanted just to make sure of it, and I stayed off of my legs for the entire week. I didn't even do pommel horse dismounts, and to be honest, our pommel horse mats are so hard. They're still kind of got that brand new hardness about them that the pommel landing probably takes more out of you than like a high bar landing onto a 10 centimeter. But the strength gains, I was playing around with some weights just on my back on a bench. I've mentioned that range from back lever through to cross causes some serious impingement in my shoulder. And as I was playing around with just very light weights, like 4 kg weights, I noticed that if I don't protract fully, if I retract a little bit and place my scaps into a different position, I can get rid of most of that impingement. And I was pretty excited about that. And actually I was able to put it into practice right away into the bungee Azarian, getting back up to my record for 8 kgs in the weight vest. 8 kgs in the weight vest, that's as high as I've gone. And I was able to do that, like right off the bat with that new technique. So that part has gotten better and stronger. The invert has gotten a bit weaker. Oi. Danger zone, fam, danger zone. My advice to anyone that is doing kind of like big releases over the bar, if you can tell that you're not gonna hold on, there's really 2 ways you can ping. At the end of the week, you're gonna see me ping forwards, which is relatively safe. But when you ping down like that, obviously there is a big risk. And we know many gymnasts that have really done their knees in, pinging off at the bottom of like a Coleman or releases like that. The moment you notice, you literally have to just pull your legs up into a squat. You have to pull your legs up into a squat as fast as possible. And of course, it's such a last minute decision that you have to make. It all happens so fast, but that's one strategy to minimize that massive risk. 142. Yeah, so 142 should never be an issue. So this is day 2 of full routine attempt. I'd like to get the feet just fully glued. You can see there's a gap in between my knees. Get rid of that gap, find the handstand, that giant diami will be nice. A bit of an arm bend in the peach. Didn't quite get enough to the left, so I'm still adjusting to that 5th skill peach 1 bar. But to be honest, like, it's not even that much more inconsistent than what it was when I was doing it right at the start of the routine. I think on Saturday I tried another. It's all over the place. I remember this day going back to Spieth. We know that the competition is going to be on Gym Nova at Nationals, so I've switched over to the Gym Nova bars. And day 1 back on Spieth, there was a little bit of readjusting to do. As you can tell, I'm also probably a little bit tired from the Friday. It's not every week I do routines 2 days in 1 week. But because it's new and because we only have just a few weeks left before it's go time, I want to get as many as possible. Looks like I'm going to have to speed this bit up. Still haven't sped it up. Okay. Alright, so I've just gone and fast forwarded it. So if my narration is mistimed, my apologies. I hadn't edited the video fully. But a nice giant diami there, legs almost together, probably like a 1 on the feet, and maybe if I'm lucky a 1 for being slightly over. Alright, and we got it. Messy form on the peach 1, but got the handstand. And pretty precise. No, spoke too soon. That last healy was definitely not precise. But the reverse turn was. Don't think I had any extra hand shuffles after that reverse turn. And this was the first day where I felt a little bit more comfortable, so I'm going over hard, catching on the first try. That was a nice pop. Then Coleman and the piked Gaylord caught on the first try. Just 1 Coleman left before this journey to Road to 100 is over. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but I think I'm gonna, you know, maybe incorporate like my favorite Colemans of the past. There's no way you can incorporate all 99 of them. That's just gonna, you know, I think the most or the longest a short can be is 3 minutes. But some music you can only use up to 1 minute. So might look, oh yeah, look at that ping. Hey, I've gone further. There's one on my Insta where I went like twice that far. Pretty sure I went out of frame. So that wasn't too bad. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to look through all the Colemans, find my favorites, probably like start the video off with them and have it culminate with the number 100. So we're nearing the end of the video there. Just want to say I'm so surprised with like the amazing donations that I've received on the Give a Little. So thank you to anyone that donated, that shared the link. I'm already over the moon with what I've raised in just one night. So massive thank you to all patrons, to everybody that's donated. It means a lot, and it's going to make life a lot easier, where, you know, I don't have to like look out twice and I can just live my normal lifestyle. So thank you very much. Yeah, no pommel horse dismount landings just yet, fam, but the following week we're pretty much back at it. Calves feeling better. And this week I might push the Azerian to 9 kgs. I reckon after 9-10, after about 9-10 kgs, it should be enough to do safely, especially now that I can kind of hold my shoulder in a better way. So this day you see next set is 8, and we'll call it there. Thanks for watching, all the best, and until next time.